which should not, however, be interpreted as showing that we have no system. Assertion: there are truly existent things, because specific things like fire and so forth exist. Answer: how can fire be hot by way of its own entity? It cannot, for there are no truly existent things. Above it was said that even hot fire does not exist inherently. Stanza says, this point has already been refuted. Moreover, even if, on seeing the thing which is fire, it were appropriate to refute the statement that fire does not exist truly, who sees the elimination of fallacies associated with the true existence of oneness and difference and of all four theses such as existence and non-existence and so forth exposed by the reasoning of dependent arising? Since all four theses are seen to be flawed, one should not accept any thesis of true existence.
For the following reason, too, it is incorrect to assert true existence. As explained in the context of stanza, if there were a truly existent entity, it should be observable even in extremely small things such as particles, but it is not observable. How can truly existent production occur for that which does not exist anywhere? It is totally incorrect to accept as existent that which is non-existent to the perception of Buddhists, the sun-like radiance of whose consummate understanding of the suchness of things dispels all darkness of ignorance. Asserting true existence is thus unrelated to any feasible thesis. If there is no twofold division of phenomena into truly existent and not truly existent, what, such as particles and so forth, could have a truly existent entity, since all forms of true existence have been precluded? If for the very reasons we have explained, it is appropriate for you too to accept the system which has eliminated the two extremes, why do you cling to the thesis of true existence and raise further arguments against us?
If any reasoning could disprove the thesis concerning emptiness of true existence, we would be convinced, but since things cannot be proved truly existent, you should accept only our thesis. If the nature of internal and external things were truly existent, they would not depend on causes and conditions. Also, differentiations of truly existent and not truly existent are inappropriate with regard to the absence of truly existent things. There are no differences in the entity of space, because it is a mere absence of obstructing form. Similarly, regarding emptiness of true existence, the nature seen in all substantial entities, stanza says, Sutra says, whoever has come to know the non-functional with regard to functional things has no attachment to functional things. There are no distinctions of truly existent and not truly existent with regard to any phenomenon whatsoever. Challenge: after first analyzing, you should either accept emptiness or make a reply. Objection: it would be appropriate to make a reply if the slightest thing were accepted as truly existent, but since according to you everything is non-existent, how can any reply be made?
Answer: if you claim that no reply is made to the Madhyamika thesis because everything is non-existent, why should it not also be proper to prove your own thesis which is refuted by the reasons that prove emptiness? Since one cannot refute another's thesis without proving one's own, yours has become non-existent. Assertion: even if one is unable to prove one's thesis, it is said and well known in the world that reasons which refute others' theses are easy to find.
Answer: since in that case you too must be in possession of those easily found reasons with which to refute, why are even you unable to fault the other's thesis, that of the Madhyamikas? Thus, as you are unable to fault the other's thesis, reasons refuting emptiness are not easy to find. If even without reasoning, but merely by saying the words, they exist, things existed as their own suchness, why should their emptiness of true existence not also be established merely by our saying the words, they do not exist truly? The reasoning is the same in all respects. Therefore, rejecting assertions regarding the two extremes, we both should firmly establish the textual system free from all fabrications which asserts non-existence of the two extremes. Assertion: if things do not exist ultimately, the designation, things exist, is incorrect and as unreasonable as terming a barren woman's child existent.
Answer: if things do not lack true existence because the designation they are and exist is ascribed, neither are they truly existent because the designation they exist truly is applied. Calling someone with good eyesight blind or someone with a short life long-lived does not make them so. Besides, if things could be accomplished by words alone, it would be just as reasonable to accept that they lack true existence as to think they are truly existent. Another's assertion, words do not reveal an object's entity. If they did, one's mouth would burn when saying fire or be full when saying pot. Therefore we assert that ordinary people all have means of expression and terms for that which is being expressed which do not touch an object's own entity. Answer: supposedly things all exist inherently and as conventions. Because ordinary people speak of them by means of words which do not touch their entity. But how can anything that exists inherently, existing as its own suchness, be a convention? It could only be ultimately existent. Assertion: since you deny that things have true existence, things are non-existent.
Answer: if even the slightest thing is non-existent because things are not truly existent, it is incorrect that all Madhyamika theses concern the non-existence of things through refutation of previously existent truly established things, for there has never been any true existence. Since truly existent functional things, the object of negation, do not exist, their non-functional negation cannot be truly existent. In the world a completely disintegrates thing is said to be non-functional. In keeping with this, a completely disintegrated pot would not be feasible if the pot had never existed. Thus how could the non-functional be truly existent, when there are no truly existent functional things? The existence of a dependent thing is not feasible without that on which it depends. Assertion: in order to prove emptiness you must adduce reasons. Thus since the reasons exist, things are not empty, for like the reasons everything else is also truly existent.
Answer: if things were not empty because emptiness of true existence is established through reasons, and the thesis and reasons were inherently distinct, they would be unrelated. If the thesis were not inherently distinct from the reason but inherently one with it, they would have to be one, and therefore what is to be proved could not be understood by depending on the reason. Then it follows that there are no correct reasons, since the fallacy of there being no reasons arises when one asserts truly existent things. Therefore all phenomena are established as lacking inherent existence. Assertion: since there are analogies for emptiness of inherent existence, such as the reflection and so forth, everything else, like those analogies, exists and is not empty.
Answer: is the analogy related or unrelated to the reason's meaning? The first has already been precluded by the reasoning, which refutes truly existent reasons. In the second case, if the meaning is established through an analogy unrelated to the reason, is one able to say, just as the crow is black, so too is the self, because they are alike in being functional things? One should be able to do so. Yet an analogy, merely by virtue of its existence, is not suitable as an analogy for true existence. Question: if analogies, reasons and all things do not exist, what is the purpose of writing all the chapters of your treatise?